Chapter 3, Moses' Conquests. 1398 BC. Under the leadership of Moses, the children of Israel defeated 2 kings and possessed their land on the other side of the Jordan from the river Arnon to Mount Hermon, and all the eastern Jordan plain. King Sihon was one king, and he was the king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon. He ruled half of the land of Gilead from Aroer, which is on the bank of the river Arnon, from the middle of that river, as far as the river Jabbok, which is the border of the Ammonites. He was king over the eastern Jordan plain from the Sea of Chinneroth, which today is the Sea of Galilee, as far as the Sea of the Arabah, which is the Salt Sea, the road to Beth Jeshimoth, and southward below the slopes of Pisgah. Joshua 12 verses 1-3. The other king was King Og of Bashan, who was of the remnant of the giants, and dwelt at Ashtaroth and at Edrei. He reigned over Mount Hermon, Salcah, and all Bashan, as far as the border of the Jeshurites, the Maccathites, and half of Gilead to the border of Sihon king of Heshbon. Joshua 12 verses 4 and 5. These were the kings, and their land Moses, and the children of Israel conquered. Moses gave their land as a possession to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and half the tribe of Manasseh. Joshua 12 verse 6. Joshua's Conquests. 1405 to 1400 BC. Under the leadership of Joshua, the children of Israel defeated 31 kings and took their land on the side of Jordan on the west. They took land from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon as far as Mount Halak and the ascent to Seir, which Joshua gave to the tribes of Israel as a possession according to the divisions, in the mountain country, in the lowlands, in the Jordan plain, in the slopes, in the wilderness, and in the south. He conquered and took the countries of the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 31 kings. The king of Jericho. The king of Ai, which is beside Bethel. The king of Jerusalem. The king of Hebron. The king of Jarmuth. The king of Lachish. The king of Eglon. The king of Gezer. The king of Debir. The king of Geder. The king of Hormah. The king of Arad. The king of Libnah. The king of Adullam. The king of Makkedah. The king of Bethel. The king of Tappuah. The king of Hepher. The king of Aphek. The king of Lasharon. The king of Madon. The king of Hazor. The king of Shimron Meron. The king of Akshaph. The king of Tanakh. The king of Megiddo. The king of Kadesh. The king of Jokneam in Carmel. The king of Dor in the heights of Dor. The king of the people of Gilgal. The king of Tirzah. All the kings were 31. Joshua 12 verses 7-24. From these kings, Joshua took all this land in the mountain country, all the south, all the land of Goshen, the lowland, and the Jordan plain, the mountains of Israel and its lowlands, from Mount Halak and the ascent to Seir even as far as Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon below Mount Hermon. Joshua 12 verses 16-17. Joshua captured all these kings, struck them down, and killed them. He made war a long time with all these kings. No other city, other than the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon, made peace with Israel. All the others they took in battle, for it was of the Lord to harden their hearts, that they should come against Israel in battle, that he might utterly destroy them, and that they might receive no mercy, as the Lord had commanded Moses. Joshua 11 verses 17-20. Joshua cut off the Anakim from the mountains of Hebron, Debir, Anab, from all the mountains of Judah, from all the mountains of Israel. Joshua destroyed them with their cities. None of the Anakim was left in the land of the children of Israel. they remained only in Gaza, Gath, and in Ashdod. Joshua 11 verses 21 and 22. Joshua took the whole land, according to all that the Lord had said to Moses, and Joshua gave it as an inheritance to Israel according to their divisions by their tribes. Then the land rested from war. Joshua 11 verse 23. Conquering the remaining land. Joshua was now old and had advanced in years, but there remained very much land yet to be possessed. The territory of the Philistines and the Geshurites from Seir, on the east of Egypt, had not been conquered. The land as far as the border of Ekron northward, which is counted as Canaanite, was not conquered. The 5 lords of the Philistines, the Gazites, the Ashdodites, the Ashkelonites, the Gittites, and the Ekronites, also the Avites, from the south, had not been conquered. The land of the Canaanites, and Merari that belongs to the Sidonians, as far as Aphek, to the border of the Amorites, had not been conquered. The land of the Jebusites, and all Lebanon, toward the sunrise, from Baal-Gad below Mount Hermon as far as the entrance to Hamath, all the inhabitants of the mountains from Lebanon as far as the brook Misrephoth, and all the Sidonians, them, the Lord God promised Joshua that he would drive out before the children of Israel. Joshua was to divide the land by lot to Israel as an inheritance as the Lord commanded him. He was to divide the land as an inheritance to the 9 tribes and half the tribe of Manasseh. Joshua 13 verses 1 to 7. Land was divided east of the Jordan with the other half-tribe, the Reubenites, and the Gadites. They received their inheritance, which Moses had given them, beyond the Jordan eastward. Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave them land from Merari, which is on the bank of the river Arnon, the town that is in the midst of the ravine, and all the plain of Medeba as far as Dibon. Moses gave them all the cities of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, as far as the border of the children of Ammon, Gilead, the border of the Geshurites and Maccathites. He gave them all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan as far as Salcah, all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and Edrei, who remained of the remnant of the giants, for Moses had defeated and cast out these. Joshua 13 verses 8 to 12. Nevertheless, the children of Israel did not drive out the Geshurites or the Maccathites, but the Geshurites and the Maccathites dwell among the Israelites until this day. Joshua 13 verse 13. Only to the tribe of Levi, Moses had given no inheritance. The sacrifices of the Lord God of Israel made by fire are their inheritance, as he said to them. Joshua 13 verse 1. Reuben's inheritance. Moses had given to the tribe of the children of Reuben an inheritance according to their families. Their territory was from Merari, which was on the bank of the river Arnon, the city in the midst of the ravine, and all the plain by Medeba. Moses gave them Heshbon and all the cities that were in the plain, and all the kingdom of Sihon king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses had struck with the 5 princes of Midian. They were princes of Sihon dwelling in the country. Joshua 13 verses 15 and 16, 21. The children of Israel also killed with the sword Balaam, the soothsayer, among those who were killed by them. The border of the children of Reuben was the bank of the Jordan. This was the inheritance of the children of Reuben according to their families, the cities, and their villages. Joshua 13 verses 22 and 23. Inheritance of Gad. Moses gave an inheritance to the tribe of Gad according to their families. Their territory was Jazer and all the cities of Gilead, Jabesh Gilead and Ramoth Gilead, and half the land of the Ammonites as far as Aroer, which is before Rabbah. The rest of the kingdom of Sihon king of Heshbon was given to them, with the Jordan as its border, as far as the edge of the Sea of Chinnereth, Sea of Galilee, as it became known, on the other side of the Jordan eastward. This was the inheritance of the children of Gad according to their families, the cities, and their villages. Joshua 13 verses 24 to 28. Half the tribe of Manasseh, on the east side. Moses gave an inheritance to half the tribe of Manasseh on the east side according to their families. Their territory was from Mahanaim, all Bashan, all the kingdom of Og king of Bashan, and all the towns of Jair, which are in Bashan, 60 cities, half of Gilead, and Ashtaroth and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan were for the children of Machir, for half of the children of Machir according to their families. Joshua 13 verses 29 to 31. These were the areas which Moses had distributed as an inheritance in the plains of Moab on the other side or east side of the Jordan, by Jericho eastward. However, to the tribe of Levi, Moses had given no inheritance. The Lord God of Israel was their inheritance. Joshua 13 verses 32 and 33. Land west of the Jordan divided. The areas which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest, Joshua, and the heads of the fathers of the tribes distributed as an inheritance to them, was by lot, as the Lord had commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh on the west side. Moses had given the inheritance of the 2 tribes and the half-tribe on the other side of the Jordan, but to the Levites he had given no inheritance among them. The children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and they gave no part to the Levites in the land except cities to dwell in with their common lands for their livestock and their property. Joshua 14 verses 1 to 5. 9 tribes and half the tribe of Manasseh, Asher, Naphtali, Zebulun, Issachar, Dan, Benjamin, Ephraim, Simeon, Judah, and half-tribe of Manasseh were given inheritances on the west side of the Jordan. Caleb's inheritance. Caleb, who wholly followed the Lord when he, Joshua, and others, spied out the land of Canaan, and he brought back a good report, he was promised an inheritance among the children of Israel. Moses swore on that day that the land where his foot had trodden was to be his inheritance and his children forever, because he had wholly followed the Lord God. The Lord kept Caleb alive for 45 years, for he was 40 years old when he was sent to spy out Canaan. Caleb is now 85 years old, and he was still strong in strength for war, for he was both for going out and for coming in. Caleb wanted the mountain of which the Lord spoke in that day. The Anakim were there, and the cities were great and fortified. His faith was that the Lord would be with him, and he would be able to drive them out of the mountain. Joshua blessed him and gave Hebron to Caleb as an inheritance. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb, the Kenizzites, because he wholly followed the Lord God of Israel. The name of Hebron formerly was Kirjath Arba. Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim. Then the land had rest from war. Joshua 14 verses 6 to 15. Caleb occupies Hebron and Debir. Caleb gave a share among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, namely Kirjath Arba, which is Hebron. Arba was the father of Anak. Caleb drove out the 3 sons of Anak, Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai from there. Then he went up from there to the inhabitants of Debir. Formerly the name of Debir was Kirjath Sepher. Caleb gave his daughter, Achsah, to Othniel as wife, because he went and attacked Kirjath Sepher and took it. Caleb gave his daughter the upper and lower springs of the land in the south. The land of Judah. The lot of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families, as follows. The border of Edom at the wilderness of Zin southward was the extreme southern boundary. Their southern border began at the shore of the Salt Sea, from the bay that faces southward. Then it went out to the southern side of the ascent of Akrabim, passed along to Zin, ascended on the south side of Kadesh Barnea, passed along to Hezron, went up to Adar, and went around to Karka. From there it passed toward Asmon and went out to the brook of Egypt, and the border ended at the sea. This was their southern border. Joshua 15 verses 1 to 4. The east border was the Salt Sea as far as the mouth of the Jordan. The border on the northern quarter began at the bay of the sea at the mouth of the Jordan. Joshua 15 verse 5. The border went up to Beth Hogla and passed north of Beth Araba, and the border went up to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben. Then the border went up toward Debir from the valley of Acre, and it turned northward toward Gilgal, which is before the ascent of Adumim, which is on the south side of the valley. The border continued toward the waters of En-Shemesh and ended at En-Rogel. Then the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom to the southern slope of the Jebusite city, which is Jerusalem. The border went up to the top of the mountain that lies before the valley of Rephaim northward. Then the border went around from the top of the hill to the fountain of the water of Nephtoah, and extended to the cities of Mount Ephraim. The border went around to Bala, which is Kirjath-Jearim. Joshua 15 verses 6 to 9. Then the border turned westward from Bala to Mount Seir, passed along to the side of Mount Jearim on the north, which is Chesalon, went down to Beth Shemesh, and passed on to Timnah. The border went out to the side of Ekron northward. Then the border went around to Shikron, passed along to Mount Bala, and extended to Jabneel, and the border ended at the sea. Joshua 15 verses 10 and 11. The west border was the coastline of the Great Sea. This was the boundary of the children of Judah all around according to their families. Joshua 15 verse 12. The cities of Judah. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families. The cities at the limits of the tribe of the children of Judah, toward the border of Edom in the south, were 29, with their villages. In the lowland were 14 cities with their villages. Ekron, with its towns and villages, from Ekron to the sea, all that lay near Ashdod, with their villages, Ashdod with its towns and villages, Gaza with its towns and villages, as far as the brook of Egypt and the Great Sea with its coastline. Joshua 15 verses 20 to 47. In the mountain country were 11 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth Araba, Middin, Sekekah, Nibshan, the city of Salt, and En-Gedi were 6 cities with their villages. Judah's inheritance extended to over 50 other cities. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out, but the Jebusites dwelt with the children of Judah at Jerusalem. Joshua 15 verses 48 to 63. It was later, when Judah and Simeon, his brother, went up against the Canaanites to fight against them. The Lord delivered the Canaanites and the Perizzites into their hand, and they killed 10,000 men at Bezek. Bezek was a town on the territory allotted to the children of Judah, but Adoni-Bezek the king of Bezek dwelt there. The children of Judah and the children of Simeon fought against him, and they defeated the Canaanites and the Perizzites. Adoni-Bezek was known to cut off his captives' thumbs and big toes. Judah and Simeon also did this to him. When Adoni-Bezek fled, they pursued him and caught him, and cut off his thumbs and big toes. He said, 70 kings with their thumbs and big toes cut off used to gather scraps under my table, as I have done, so God has repaid me. They took him to Jerusalem, and there he died. Judges 1 verses 1 to 7. The children of Judah fought against Jerusalem, and took it with the sword and set the city on fire. After that, they went down to fight against the Canaanites who dwelt in the mountains, in the south, and in the lowland. Judah went against the Canaanites who dwelt in Hebron and killed Sheshai, Ahiman and Talmai, the 3 sons of Anak. Judges 1 verses 8 to 10. Joshua had cut off the Anakim from the mountains from Hebron, Debir, Anab, from all the mountains of Judah, and from all the mountains of Israel, and he destroyed them with their cities. None of the Anakim was left in the land of the children of Israel. Only the cities in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod remained. Joshua 11 verses 21 and 22. Later, Judah and Simeon attacked the Canaanites who inhabited Zephath, and destroyed it, and the city was called Hormah. They took Gaza with its territory and Ekron with its territory. Therefore, the Lord was with Judah. They drove out the mountaineers, but they could not drive out the inhabitants of the lowland, because they had chariots of iron. Judges 1 verses 17 to 19. Caleb was given a share among the children of Judah, namely Kirjath Arba, which is Hebron. Arba was the father of Anak, and he was the greatest man among the Anakim, but Caleb at that time only drove out the 3 sons of Anak from there. The tribe of Judah later captured Jerusalem by taking the unfortified southwestern hill, but the children of Benjamin failed to drive out the Jebusites who inhabited walled city on the eastern hill, so the Jebusites dwelt with the children of Benjamin in Jerusalem. The children of Judah could not drive them out, but the Jebusites dwelt also with them at Jerusalem. Joshua 15 verse 63, Joshua 11 verses 21, 22, Joshua 14 verse 15 and Judges 1 verses 21 and 8. West Manasseh and Ephraim. The lot fell to the children of Joseph from the Jordan by Jericho, to the waters of Jericho on the east to the wilderness that goes up from Jericho through the mountains to Bethel. The land went out from Bethel to Luz, passed along to the border of the Archites at Adaroth, and went down westward to the boundary of the Japhletites, as far as the boundary of lower Beth Horon to Gezer, and it ended at the sea. Therefore, the children of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim took their inheritance. Joshua 16 verses 1 to 4. The other half-tribe of Manasseh. On the west side. There was also a lot for the tribe of Manasseh, the firstborn of Joseph, namely for Machir the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war, therefore, he was given Gilead and Bashan. There was a lot for the rest of the children of Manasseh according to their families, for the children of Abiezer, the children of Helek, the children of Israel, the children of Shechem, the children of Hepher, and the children of Shemida. These were the male children of Manasseh the son of Joseph according to their families. Joshua 17 verses 1 and 2. However, Zelophehad the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but only daughters. Their names were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They were given an inheritance among their brothers. Joshua 17 verses 3 and 4. 10 shares fell to Manasseh, besides the land of Gilead and Bashan, which were on the other side of the Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh received an inheritance among his sons, and the rest of Manasseh's sons had the land of Gilead. Joshua 17 verses 5 and 6. The territory of Manasseh was from Asher to Michmethath, that lies east of Shechem, and the border went along south to the inhabitants of En-Tappuah. Manasseh had the land of Tappuah, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. The border descended to the brook Canaan, southward to the brook. These cities of Ephraim are among the cities of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh was on the north side of the brook, and it ended at the sea. Joshua 17 verses 7 to 9. Southward it was Ephraim's, northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea was its border. Manasseh's territory was adjoining Asher on the north and Issachar on the east. In Issachar and in Asher, Manasseh had Bethshean and its towns, Ibleam and its towns, the inhabitants of Dor and its towns, the inhabitants of En-Dor and its towns, the inhabitants of Tanakh and its towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and its towns, 3 hilly regions. Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites were determined to dwell in that land. It happened, when the children of Israel grew strong, that they put the Canaanites to forced labor, but did not utterly drive them out. Joshua 17 verses 10 to 13. The land of Ephraim. The border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was the border of their inheritance on the east side, which was Adaroth-Adar as far as upper Beth Horon. The border went out toward the sea on the north side of Michmethath, then the border went around eastward to Tanis Shiloh, and passed by it on the east of Janahah. Then it went down from Janaha to Adaroth and Nara, reached to Jericho, and came out at the Jordan. The border went out from Tapua westward to the brook Canaan, and it ended at the sea. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim according to their families. The separate cities for the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. Ephraim did not drive out the Canaanites who dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwelt among the Ephraimites and had become forced laborers. Joshua 16 verses 5 to 10. More land needed for Ephraim and Manasseh. The children of Joseph spoke to Joshua, "Why have you given us only one lot and one share to inherit, since we are a great people, inasmuch as the Lord has blessed us until now?" Therefore Joshua answered them, "If you are a great people, then go up to the forest country and clear a place for yourself, there in the land of the Perizzites and the giants, since the mountains of Ephraim are too confined for you." However, the children of Joseph said, "The mountain country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both those who are of Bethshean and its towns and those who are of the valley of Jezreel." Joshua spoke to the house of Joseph, saying, "You are a great people and have great power, you will not have only one lot, but the mountain country will be yours. Although it is wooded, you will cut it down, and its farthest extent will be yours, for you will drive out the Canaanites, though they have iron chariots and are strong." Joshua 17 verses 14 to 18. The remainder of the land is divided. The congregation of Israel assembled at Shiloh, and set up the tabernacle of meeting there. Most of the land had been conquered, but there remained among the children of Israel 7 tribes, which had not yet received their inheritance. Those who had not received land were neglected to go and possess the land. Therefore Joshua picked out 3 men of the children of Israel to go through the remaining land to survey it according to their inheritance, to divide it into 7 parts. They wrote the survey in a book in 7 parts, by cities, and returned to Joshua at the camp of Shiloh, and he cast lots for them before the Lord, and there Joshua divided the land to the remaining tribes according to their divisions. Joshua 18 verses 1 to 10. The first lot was given to the children of Benjamin, and the territory of their lot came out between the children of Judah and the children of Joseph. The inheritance of the children of Benjamin had 26 cities with their villages. Joshua 18:11, 21 to 28. The second lot came out for Simeon, for the tribe of the children of Simeon according to their families. In addition, their inheritance was within the inheritance of the children of Judah. The children of Simeon had 27 cities and their villages. The inheritance was included in the share of the children of Judah, for the share of Judah was too much for them. Therefore, the children of Simeon had their inheritance within the inheritance of that people. Joshua 19 verses 1 to 9. The third lot came out for the children of Zebulun according to their families, and the border of their inheritance was as far as Sarid. The inheritance of Zebulun was 12 cities with their villages according to their families. Joshua 19 verses 10 and 15, 16. The fourth lot came out to Issachar, for the children of Issachar according to their families. The inheritance of Issachar according to their families was 16 cities with their villages. Joshua 19 verses 17 to 23. The fifth lot came out for the tribe of the children of Asher, according to their families. The inheritance of Asher according to their families included 22 cities with their villages. Joshua 19 verses 24 and 30, 31. The sixth lot came out for the tribe of the children of Naphtali, according to their families. Their inheritance was 19 fortified cities with their villages. Joshua 19 verses 32 and 38, 39. The seventh lot came out for the tribe of the children of Dan according to their families. Their territory of their inheritance was Zorah and 16 other cities with the region near Joppa. The border of the children of Dan went beyond these, because the children of Dan went up to fight against Leshem and took it, and they struck it with the edge of the sword, took possession of it, and dwelt in it. They called Leshem, Dan, after the name of Dan their father. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Dan according to their families, their cities with their villages. Joshua 19 verses 40 to 48. Joshua's inheritance. When they had made an end of dividing the land as an inheritance according to their borders, the children of Israel gave an inheritance among them to Joshua. According to the word of the Lord, they gave him the city, which he asked for, Timnath-Serah in the mountains of Ephraim, and he built the city and dwelt in it. Joshua 19 verses 49 and 50. These were the inheritances, which Eleazar the priest, Joshua, and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel divided as an inheritance by lot in Shiloh before the Lord, at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Therefore, they made an end of dividing the country. Joshua 19 verse 51. Cities of refuge. The children of Israel were to appoint for themselves cities of refuge, that the slayer who kills a person accidentally or unintentionally may flee there, and they would be their refuge from the avenger of blood. They appointed Kadesh in Galilee, in the mountains of Naphtali, Shechem in the mountains of Ephraim, and Kirjath-Arba, which is Hebron, in the mountains of Judah. On the other side of the Jordan, by Jericho eastward, they assigned Bezer in the wilderness on the plain, from the tribe of Reuben, Ramoth in Gilead, from the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan, from the tribe of Manasseh. The cities of refuge were appointed for all the children of Israel and for the stranger who dwelt among them, for whoever killed a person accidentally, they could flee there, and not die by the hand of the avenger of blood. They could flee there until he stood before the congregation for judgment, and until the death of the one who was high priest in those days. Then the slayer may return and come to his own city and his own house, to the city from which he fled. Joshua 20 verses 1 to 9. Cities of the Levites. The children of Israel gave the Levites cities to dwell in, with common lands for their livestock. The children of Israel gave to the Levites from their inheritance at the commandment of the Lord, cities and their common lands. Joshua 21 verses 1 to 3. Children of Kohath. The lot came out for the families of the Kohathites. In addition, the children of Aaron the priest, who were of the Levites, had 13 cities by lot from the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Simeon, and from the tribe of Benjamin. The rest of the children of Kohath had 10 cities by lot from the families of the tribe of Ephraim, the tribe of Dan, and from the half-tribe of Manasseh. Joshua 21 verses 4 and 5. Children of Gershon. The children of Gershon had 13 cities by lot from the families of the tribe of Issachar, the tribe of Asher, the tribe of Naphtali, and from the half-tribe of Manasseh in Bashan. Joshua 21 verse 6. Children of Merari. The children of Merari according to their families had 12 cities from the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Gad, and from the tribe of Zebulun. Joshua 21 verse 7. The children of Israel gave these cities with their common lands by lot to the Levites, as the Lord had commanded by the hand of Moses. Joshua 21 verse 8. All the cities of the Levites within the possession of the children of Israel were 48 cities with their common lands. Every one of these cities had its common land surrounding it, thus were all their cities. Joshua 21 verses 41 and 42. Thank you for listening to Chapter 3 of the book Into the Promised Land from the book series It's All About Worship and To Whom You Worship by Doris N. Whaley Smith. The complete book in whole can be purchased on Amazon.com.